is Miles Sanders. He's actually the second guy that gets drafted, even though I might like Montgomery more. He was the second running back off the board for Philadelphia. And on paper, I don't love the fantasy fit because Peterson's always been a big committee guy. They just trade for Jordan Howard, so what's his role as well? But should I be more excited? Why would the Eagles go and get this guy? And how do you see him being used here?
Yeah, I actually really like Miles Sanders' fit in Philadelphia. I just don't know how many carries he's going to get. That's kind of like a wait-and-see game. So for everybody who's doing fantasy drafts early, you're really rolling the dice with Sanders just because I think, like you said, like you mentioned, the running backs that are also in the room, even though I think the Sanders is going to be a fit, they're just going to be grabbing for carries at each other, and you never want any of that kinds of situation. So unless Miles, which I could see this happening, I could see Miles really separating himself, say, in training camp, and he becomes the RB1 and he kind of takes things over because I think Sanders is a 3-down back. He was my RB2, and I thought he could do a lot in the passing game as well, both with blocking and catching. So I think he makes sense for Philly, and I think Philly would be wise to use him. I just don't know how much that happens in year one with the other backs they have now. So that's kind of a question where I like the fit, I like his potential, but there's not really a definitive right now of whether he's going to necessarily live up to that just because of the other guys that are in the room.
Absolutely, yeah. The one comment I did like, their GM Howie Roseman says, we haven't had a running back like this in years, and this is a guy that, LaShawn McCoy and Brian Westbrook, those are the only other two running backs they've taken in those, high draft slots. So when they had those guys, they rode him to death. We'll see. I'm hoping that's the case. As you said, your number 2 running back. The guy is a beast. Yeah. So I'm hoping he gets that volume just as a fantasy owner, selfishly, but we'll see.